Alright, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to show some of you how you can polish a crankshaft at home. And of course I've got this big crank polisher and crank welder, and I mean I got all this stuff, but I actually prefer to finish polish the old way by hand. Now of course I can use, I can use the belts to polish up to 400, but you don't need any of that. An old trick, and I'm sure a lot of you already know how to do this, but just show you how we do it. Now I've already polished. I'm doing the rod journals right now. I haven't done the mains yet, but I've already used 800. Now I started out with 400. Of course, I use the belt, but you can start out with, a piece of wet and dry, sandpaper. Start out with a 400 and then go to an 800. I'm going to go to a 15. I mean, you can stop at 400, but I'm going to go to a 1500 or 800, 1500, and 2000, and it gives a mirror finish. Now, if I wanted to really work on this, I mean, I could get all those little lines up, but you can tell just by looking at it. I mean, that's pretty much a mirror finish. Now, and if you're using when you get to 800, when you're using 400, you can actually take material off the crankshaft. But when you get to 800, 1500, 2000, you're not going to take anything off of it. So what you do is you cut the strips. I'm doing this journal right here right now with the 2000. I've already done 1500 on it. But what you do is you cut the paper in strips, like so. I cut it just a little bit wide, and so it gets all the way up into the fillet of the crank, or where the radius is, should be. The stock crank, this ain't gonna have no radius. Wrap the paper around, and now take a flat shoestring. Don't use a round one. You have to use a flat one. Wrap it around. Now when you first put a new piece of paper on there, it's going to be difficult to get it started, so you might have to rotate it with your hands a few times. Of course, the wider you cut it, if it gets up in here and rolls around, it takes a minute to get it broke in. Once you get the paper broke in, I mean it goes pretty easy. And then what you want to do is, now of course, y'all aren't going to have, now I do this with the machine on. If you have a lathe or something, you can do it, but it's not going to hurt anything to just do it stationary. Just put it in a set of V-blocks or something, and then make sure your shoestring's flat, and you want to pull outwards from side to side, because what you're trying to do is to get this to go back and forth across, so it has an even amount of pressure, like so. And you can polish until your heart is content. Of course, the more you polish, the better it's going to look, and the smoother surface you're going to get. Now, you might want to rotate the crank over if you got it in V-blocks. That's what I used to do. And then do it on the other side, so you're not staying in one spot too long. But all right, now you can see the finish on that journal and how pretty it is by doing that. Knock yourself out. You want to go to 3,000, you can. There's some people that say if you polish them too much, the oil won't adhere to the crankshaft when the engine's shut off. That's bullshit. It'll stick to the bearing. I've been doing it like this for years, and honestly, I have less issues out of crankshafts that I micro polish doing it this way than something I leave with a 400 finish or something like that. I mean, you get a crankshaft back from the crankshaft. Like when I grind crankshafts here, I will usually polish them to 400 and then use what's called a cork belt to go over the top of it. And it leaves a really nice finish, but that's for production work. race car stuff. Of course, this isn't race car stuff. This is my stuff. This is my crankshaft for my junky old motor that we're building for my junky old pickup. I just elected to do it this way. But now, of course, you know, you want to measure all your journals as you're going. But I'm you know, every time you put the micrometer on it, you're going to scratch the crank. So usually what I do is I measure it after I've polished it with a 400. I usually measure it first, and then measure it after I polish it with a 400. And then I'll probably again measure it with the 1500 after I mid 1500, and then the 2000 I don't touch it because I don't want any scratches in it. I've already measured this crank. I've already hit it with the 1500. I'm just doing the 2000 now, and then I got to go back and do the mains. And if you can see the difference, this is a 400 right here, and then what we just did, the 2000. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys that trick, and here I'll do another one. Like I said, you can set the crank in some V blocks. I had some wooden V blocks I used for years and years and years before I had, you know, a crank polisher. And all you do is, like I say, you hold that shoestring. When you pull it, it's going to pull tight. You can wrap it around one more time if you want to, but I find this is the best way. And you got to hold them flat and just back and forth. Use kind of an outward motion, back and forth. And it's that easy. Now, if you're on V blocks, you flip the crank around, but I got this fancy dancy machine here, so I can do it this way. Now, normally when I'm polishing, if you got a lathe, you can do it like this, and this is how I normally do it. Got some DW40 in my paper. Anyway, and as you go along, you know, you want to take I just use a wire brush and make sure that your paper stays clean. You see with that one, we got that line in it, and that was from some WD-40 or something that I had on the crank. I'm going to do it one more time just because. Also, you want to pay attention to the thrust on a crankshaft too. A lot of people really neglect the thrust. The thrust is important. Yeah, it's still got W40 or something on it. Anyway, your thrust is important. So make sure you get up in here with the, now I haven't done this one yet, but make sure you get up here and you polish the thrust. Now the thrust, I'd say, you know, polish it with like 400, 800. I don't know that I would polish it all the way with a 1500 because of the oil situation, but, and then polish your rear main seal area. You want this to be as smooth as possible, so, you know, go back and hit it with, now of course you're going to have to cut strips for the mains. Normally what I do is I do the rods, and then I take that same piece because it fits on the rear main, and I do the rear main, then I cut it down for the rear main seal area and the rest of the mains. Now the front one, you can't use a shoestring. You just can't. It won't stay on there. I've tried and tried, but so you're just going to have to polish it by hand, and there's nothing, you know, there's no rocket science to it. You just stick it on there and polish it. But anyway, I just thought I'd shoot a short little video on this in case some of you might have never seen that trick. I mean, that's the way people have been polishing crankshafts for years that don't have a crankshaft polisher. So we got our rod journals polished. Now before you come in here and do the rear main, there's two ways you can do that. You can cut another piece of paper that's the width and wider, and actually cut slits down the side of the paper so that it folds up next to this, or you can just do it by hand, and that's how I'm doing it. Now I'm going over this with a piece of 800, and I know there's still some lines in there. Ain't gonna hurt a damn thing. Now I do this rotating, but I'm trying to show you how you would do this at home. You just want to basically polish that thrust and smooth it out. Make sure it has no burrs in it. You know, you want it smooth on both sides. Like I said, this is a piece of 800. I don't know that I would go much more than 800 on the thrust. I guess you can, but it probably, you want it to hold a little bit of oil. All right, now we got the thrust done, so now I'm going to start out here. Now I've already done this with 400, but I'll go ahead and do it by hand with a piece of 400. How about that? That's a piece of 400 right there. It's going to be a little bit wider than what your rod journals were, so you can trim it down, huh? Do what?
I said you mean not as wide as the rod journal?
Yeah, it's not as wide. Well, the paper is wider, is what I'm saying, than the rear main. So you can trim it down, or you can do like I do and fight with it for a minute. And sometimes it's hard to get started, and it's like that. Get in there. I might actually have to trim this down some. Now, that's not what we want. It's not going to cooperate. Pause it for a second and I'm on. Okay, so I started with a 400. I had to trim that down. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And we're just going to do it just like on the rod journal. Use a saw and back and forth motion. We're going to flip it in our V-blocks. If I had it on V-blocks. All right, oh, there goes my 400. Okay, so now we see the difference in that 400 versus that 400. It's just the nature of the way it goes. Now we're going to go to, that's 1,500, it's 2,000, 800. Hopefully, yeah, I'm just going to have to trim it down. Pause it and let me trim it down. Okay. All right, now we got our 800. I had to trim it down. I like to leave it if I can, you know, so it gets up there in that radius, but it's still kind of doing it anyway. So. Now we're going to flip it in our artificial V-blocks. You want to make sure that center one goes all the way across when you're doing this. All right. That should be good. There's a little lineage there, but you know, that's the nature of using used paper. Now we're going to 1,500. Maybe, no, that's a 2,000. 1,500, I know. I might trim that down. Pause.
Sharp dogs.
Alright, so I got our 1500 trimmed down here. Of course, you can see how we're progressing. That's with the 800. And there's our 1500. Matt, reach over there and flip it for me. Okay? Nope. Too far. Right there. Not close enough. Alright. You can see what we got with the 1500. Now let me go ahead and trim down the 2000 because I know I'm going to have to.
No, you won't.
That's a brand new one. Now, new ones. No, I want to use the old one because I'm going to save that because I'm going to cut strips for it.
Oh. I tried.
Are we going to have two pieces of 1500 out here? Yes, I do. 800, 2000.
Might as well trim it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, we got our 2000 now trimmed down to a manageable situation here. Alright, go ahead and flip it, Matt. We'll do it on the fly. Alright. Go back a little bit. Right there. And there we go. Now, yeah, you can still see some lines and you can polish until they're all gone, but it's not necessary.
Can't see him in the camera.
So this is what we finished with. This is basically the finish we started with. And that's basically what you do. Now, of course, it's, rinse and repeat, so I'm not going to show the whole crankshaft. It's not necessary, but you'll want to take and cut strips. Now, you can either use the old ones. I usually start with new ones to finish it out. And you just want to cut strips the width of the journal. And one piece will do these 4. And that's that. When we get done, I'll show the finished product when we get done, but that's basically it. And you have a nice polished, micro polished crankshaft. So, see you around.